Welcome, 7th grade. Some of you will get this and have it ready as you go into algebra. Others of us, we will get this and it'll be helpful. PEMDAS, our order of operations sheet, is important because we're going to be using these as we do two-step equations to know what order we do things in. But now, PEMDAS tells us what order to work in if there's only numbers. We are working reverse to find equation solutions, so we're going to be using them in reverse. So please note the differences. All right, to do this, we have to know our inverse operations. Oh, subtract 9, n is 8. Multiplication undone by division, x is 7. 71 minus z, oh, they had to be a pain. All right, so this is positive. We want to get it away from the z, so we are going to subtract 71. We subtract 71 from this side, and then we get negative 24, I believe. No, negative 16, I believe. All right. Oh, and then negative 16 and negative z, they kind of made that a two-step problem already. Sorry about this one. Just kind of put that out of your mind for right now. Y is divided by 8. To undo division, you do multiplication. 72 is what y is. All right. We're going to learn to solve two-step equations. Means we have to do two sets of things before you get the answer. So don't stop after one. When you solve equations that have one operation, you use the inverse operation, just like we did on all the practice. We want to isolate the variable. Get it all by itself. That's the goal, that's the charge. Same thing when we do the next two-step problems. Oh, we did the inverse operation, n is all by itself. Yay, happy we have what we want. All right, you can also use inverse operations to solve equations that have more than one operation. Notice there's addition and multiplication. Remember, we said PEMDAS, but we're working backwards. So we focus on the addition and subtraction first. You're going to want to get rid of this 3 first. Show the steps. For all of you who like to not show any work, show the steps. Mrs. Heller will make you if you're in algebra next year. So get used to it now. And I'll be asking for it as the last thing you have to upload your work. All right. Minus 3, oh, 2x comes down. We divide by 2, x equals 10. We focus on the addition and subtraction first, then we undo the multiplication. All right. Subtraction. Okay. This is not isolated. We want to isolate. So then we divide by 2 on both sides and get x equals 10. So let's do this one. Check each answer. You don't have to check, but it's a good way to know. Remember, we focus on the addition and subtraction first because we're doing PEMDAS in reverse. C equals 4. And if I think about this, 4 times 9 is 36. 36 plus 3 is 39. It does work out. Let's look at all the steps that they show us. Remember, we're focusing on the addition and subtraction first because we're doing PEMDAS in reverse. All right? We do inverse operations to make sure we get the variable by itself, but it still has a number. Now that's multiplication. We use inverse operations to divide by 9. And C equals 4. Now they'll plug it back in for the check. Watch what they do. Substitute C or 4 for C. All right, you do your work. 36 plus 3, does that equal 39? Yes, it does, and we know we have a good and right answer. Okay? Reverse the order of operations when solving equations that have more than one operation. Remember I said reverse, we're going backwards now? All right, this one. You must be ready to work with negatives. They're subtracting 6, so I'm going to add 6. I'm going to add 6. This is a negative 34 and a positive 6. That makes negative 28. We did negatives and positives a long time ago. They come back in now. Don't forget them or look up how it works again. Then we have negative 4 times m and negative 28. We're going to undo that by division by negative 4. Division by negative 4. It is by negative 4 because negative 4 times or divided by negative 4 is 1. M, that's what we want. Negative 28 divided by negative 4 is 7. M equals 7. If you put negative 7, it will not be counted correctly. Or counted correct, not correctly. So, let's see what they did. All right. Add 6 to both sides because we want to get that 4 by itself. And we're working on the addition and subtraction first because we're doing order of operations backwards. All right. Then we get this. We're undoing the multiplication with division. And we get 7. We'll check it now on this next slide. Negative 4 times 7 is negative 28. Negative 28 minus 6 is negative 34. And that checks out. Okay. So, here, back to a problem without negatives, which many of you will like better, but you must be able to understand the negatives. All right. We got to focus on the addition and subtraction first because we're working in reverse. All right, minus 6, minus 6, that'd be 42. 7C. Notice they're being very nice to us and everything is coming out nice and even. That don't always happen, but since we're starting out, it is likely to happen. If you have real struggles, we're having days where we can meet on Google Meet so you can learn more and ask questions. All right, but this is pretty straightforward. Inverse operations. So we subtract 6 from both sides because we work on the addition and subtraction first. Then we get 7c equals 42. That's multiplication. Inverse operation. We use division. All right. Then we get c equals 6. We check it out again. All right. 7 times 6 is 42. 42 plus 6 is 48. And we have a happy answer that we can check and say, yay, we did good. All right. This one. Maybe try it on your own. They are throwing the negatives back in there. Be ready for that. All right. Now that you've tried it on your own, here I am again. I'm going to add 6 because inverse operations, they're subtracting 6. So to remove it, I want to add that, do the opposite. 8 over there, so negative 6m equals negative 42. All right, you have to think addition, subtraction, how that works. Remember, look at the signs. If the signs are different, if the signs are different, subtract and keep the sign of the bigger. It's actually the bigger absolute value, but keep the sign of the bigger is what I say. We then divide by the negative 6 to get that m all by its lonesome, which is what it want to be. Then we divide by negative 6 here. 7. See how nicely they all come out for you? All right, let's check and make sure we did it right. Focusing on the addition and subtraction first, they add 8. Inverse operations, but in reverse since we're solving. Then we divide each side by negative 6. 7 is our answer. All right, we check it by putting 7 back in. 7 times 6 is negative 42. Negative 42 minus 8 is negative 50. Yay, it checks out. All right. Now we have an additional step. Not really. It's still a two-step equation. First, we focus on getting rid of the number. Now, but Mr. Palm, it's not saying whether we subtract or whether we add. Please think. This is a positive number. To undo or remove a positive number, I would subtract. I would subtract. Y over 5 equals 15. This is division. I undo division by using multiplication. Five divided by 1 and 5 are exactly the same thing. Because what is 5 divided by 1? It is 5. y is 75. Don't forget, divisions, we have to use multiplication. All right. So we subtract 6 from both sides, focusing on the addition and subtraction first. Now, I know there's a plus sign there, but it's understood that this is positive, even if I don't write that addition sign. Okay? Now we multiply both sides by 5 because we have to undo that division. Y equals 75. Oh, it didn't have us check it, but we could do 75 divided by 5 is 15. 6 plus 15 is 21. Okay, here we go. We want to focus on addition and subtraction first because we're doing them in reverse. We would add 11. We would add 11. X over 7 equals 20. To undo division, I multiply. Multiply. 7 over 1 is the same as 7 because 7 divided by 1 is 7. Those now cross out. 140 is my answer for X. Oh, and why do this? Let's think. Each person got $9. Well, never mind. We won't. We'll talk about why, how this could be a word problem. We'll just do the work right now. That'll come later. We add 11 because we work on inverse operations first. X over 7, or X divided by 7 equals 20. We use multiplication, which is the inverse operation, and we get X equals 140. Here, positive 8. So how do I remove a positive 8? I subtract 8. I subtract 8. Whatever you do to one side, you must do to the other. I haven't said that yet. I should have. But I thought you knew it. I assumed. Hope it doesn't make a donkey out of me. All right. Y over 2. That's the inverse operation, dividing by 2, so we multiply by 2. Y equals, sorry for the ugly 80, but Y equals 80. Focused on that first. We did our inverse operation. We do another inverse operation with the multiplication. Y equals 80. I need you to write them step by step. That's what Mrs. Heller will want you to do. That's what I'm asking you to do. We focus on this first. X equals 250. Okay. Focus on the addition and subtraction first. Do that inverse operation. Then do the inverse operation for the division. Please be ready to re-watch these as you're getting ready to start the next section. They can be watched as many times as you want. Then I get more YouTube views. Ha! All right. Inverse operation, focusing on the addition and subtraction. We see division, so we do inverse operation using multiplication. We get the answer. It's really a system. Now, Jamie rented a canoe while she was on vacation. She paid a flat rental fee of $85, plus $7.50 each day she rented the canoe. Her total bill was $130. For how many days did she rent? So, $85 is what she paid for sure. So that's going to be a total added to her bill. Now each day she rented the thing, it was $7.50. So $7.50 times the number of days plus 85, which was the fee to do it, and it cost her $130. All right. Now I'm ready to work. I get rid of my inverse operation, or use my inverse operations to get rid of the 85. 85. So 130 minus 85 is 45. Haven't done anything with 7.5D. Now, she paid $85 just to set up the thing. $45 she paid in rental fees for $7.50 a day. So we do our division by 750 to figure out how many days she rented. Okay, I am going to guess 6 days is the days she rented it. Because I know 6 times 7 is 42, and 6 times 0.5 is 3. I add those together, that gets me to 45. She rented a canoe for 6 days. Lots of places do it like this. If you rent a van or a bus or anything like that, they'll do a flat fee, and then they'll charge you per mile. All right, let D represent that. Hey, that's what we did. We use our inverse operation, subtract 85 from each side. All right, then we use our inverse operations, divide by 7.5, and 6 days is the number of days we rented a canoe. Writing the equation's the hardest part. All right, Jack's father rented a car. They were on vacation. He paid a $20 rental fee per day. Ooh, that's the per day. So I know I'm going to take $20 times the number of days, okay? He paid $25 for the mileage, and his total bill for renting the car was $165. So just for using miles on the car, they charge him $25. That's a flat fee. It doesn't say per mile, so it just says a flat fee of that. And he made it $165 total bill that he had. What he paid per day, what he paid just to rent it, and then the total bill. Inverse operations, focusing on addition and subtraction first, because we're doing it in reverse. $140 at $20 per day. Divide them by 20. Divide them by 20. The number of days is 7. All right. Setting this up may be the hardest part for some of you. Go ahead and look for help. I may even give a few hints, okay? So, 20 times D, which is the number of days, plus 25 equals 165. Inverse operations, we subtract the 25. 20D equals 140. We divide by 20 to undo the division, or multiplication with division. We have our answer. There you go, ladies and gentlemen. I think you should have it. Smart as you all are, I hope it goes well.